Hi, I'm Drew McConnell, dairy farmer near Oma, so welcome to our farm. I'm the third generation to farm here. We're mostly a dairy farm with some beef and sheep as well, which my wife owns. We're milking 160 cows, with 50 of the highest yielders milked through the robot and the rest of them milked through an ordinary conventional parlour. So two things we've focused on this farm is breeding high producing animals that are efficient, that will produce milk for a long number of years, but they also help our greenhouse gas emissions because for every animal on the farm they're turning out a higher number of litres.
Calves are the most important animal on the farm. Try to treat them as if it was a newborn baby. Comfort and welfare and health of those calves are very important. They determine what our future herd is going to be like and how they perform.
Our replacement rate on the farm has been below 20% for the past 5 years, some years down as low as 16. So that means that the number of replacements we're keeping on the farm are quite small as well, and again that adds to our carbon footprint. You know, it improves it all the time. Average yields, they vary from year to year, but mostly in the 9,500 to 10,000 litre range. Milk from forage, we struggle here at times because we're in the west and we get quite a high rainfall, anything between 50 and 60 inches every year. But we're getting about 2,500 to 3,000. We're targeting 3,000 litres, and in an exceptional year, if we get a really good dry year, we can hit 4,000. Anybody that knows dairy, and the modern Holstein cow has a tremendous will to give milk. Most farmers will know about the negative energy balance. When a cow calves down, gives too much milk, she can't eat enough to support the milk yield she's given, so there she starts milking off her back. And when she breaks down, mobilises the fat on her back to turn it into milk, well then that draws off her reserves. The whole idea of the trial was, can we do anything to reduce that negative energy balance? The trial was set up to try and not build the cows up as quick as normal after calving. To do that, the type of concentrate we had to feed on the farm, we had to reduce the protein element of that concentrate down to 15%, because otherwise it's the protein that drives the milk production, so the more protein you give her, the more milk she was going to give. Did yields collapse? No, they didn't collapse, but they didn't rise as quickly as we thought they would rise. But what we did find, because of this fairly high energy ration, the 15% protein didn't drive milk in the early stages, and the build-up was quite slow over 30 plus days, and the cow didn't break down her body reserves as quickly as she did. That led to improved body condition, improved fertility. Cows went back and calved quicker. When we looked over the lactation, that cow maintained her lactation yield at a peak for much longer. So at the end of 305 days, there was virtually no difference between the cows on the fast build-up and the cows on the slower build-up. That has led to cost savings because protein is one of the most expensive parts of the ration, and the other aspect of it is, again, is the ammonia. The less protein you feed to the animals, the benefit there is to the environment because it's producing less ammonia. Over this past number of years, we've let our internal hedges grow out a bit. We would only trim them once every 3-4 years, sometimes even 5. And by doing that, you can look at our hedges here, there's a lot more leaf in them for the area of the hedge. That has a carbon sequestration property, is it taking more carbon in from the atmosphere. But they also do, by allowing them to grow up, they produce more berries. In the past, we've always selected grass varieties which are very high yielding, but cows weren't really performing on it. So we've selected now grass varieties which have higher energy levels, so that we want to try and ensure that every bite of forage an animal gets is of the highest possible quality we can make it. We'll still soil test every 2 to 3 years. And with soil testing, we only supply the nutrients the plant needs. Less nitrogen has been applied, and again, there's a cost saving with that, but there's also an environmental saving as well. We lime as required, depending on the results of soil testing. Every time we reseed a field, which we do on average about every 7-8 years, we will lime at that stage, but if a soil test shows in between times that it needs lime, we will do that. We use a dribble bar to put on the slurry, and again, that saves fertiliser, saves nitrogen. Also, the other thing about the dribble bar, there's less ammonia released into the atmosphere. I've got to an age now where I'm getting to an old grey-haired farmer, and I want to leave everything in as good a state as I can for the next generation.